presenting a little bit about Chinese weddings. I don't know if any of you know a little bit about that, but it's a pretty interesting topic. The first thing I want to talk about is engagement before the wedding. It's a much more serious thing in China than it often is here in America, especially because most families now only have one child. So when those children get married, it's a huge deal. So the families both have to approve the union. The kids just typically don't go out and just be like, oh, we're getting married, run off and elope. It's not anything like that here in America. And then once the families have decided upon a union, before they get married, the groom's family starts giving a bride price for grand gifts to the family, and it's typically, money or food or other things like that. It actually varies quite a bit. Another really kind of fun thing is the couple's family seeks out a fortune teller, which is something I had absolutely never heard of before. And what that is they'll look at the birth date of both of the couples, and with those dates, somehow the fortune teller decides upon an auspicious or lucky date for the couple, and sometimes that coincides with an auspicious date on the lunar calendar. And then they say, okay, if you get married on this day, you guys will be long, prosperous life, you guys will make a lot of money, healthy children, yada, yada, yada. And then the other thing that is really important before you get married is they actually make an engagement book before the wedding, which is kind of like taking wedding pictures before the wedding ever happens. And they spend a lot of money. They often travel to another area, a very scenic area, to take pictures for this wedding photo book. The family that I stayed with in China when I was back there in 2012, their daughter had gotten married a few years prior, and they were really excited to show me her wedding book. And they had spent a lot of money. They had traveled to several scenic places around China, spent lots of money on dresses, and it was beautiful. It's a wonderful keepsake. And here are some pictures that people might take for their wedding books. They're often kind of fanciful. Sometimes there'll be a lot of photo editing to make them look really neat. But that's a really, really important thing. Then the actual marriage, after all of the things before, they go and they talk to the officials at the offices of the Civil Affairs Bureau. And it's not as big a deal. This is just kind of a quiet